I know who you are, but I want to start by describing who you are to me, and then you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
So I have known you for, I feel like forever, first of all. I feel like it's forever. I feel like we were maybe separated in a past life.
For sure.
Because from the moment that I've sat in your chair for the very first time, we have talked about things that you don't just talk about
with anyone,
with anybody on the first date, you know?
Oh my God!
And
yes, I'm glad you didn't get scared.
No, I was like, this is like my person, like that I've been like, you know?
Yes.
And so to me is someone that intellectually stimulates me, not only spiritually, as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a mom, and as somebody that is out there. Not, and I don't like to use like hustle as so, you know, but just doing what you do 100% authentic.
Thank you.
And so that is why
that gets me in trouble though sometimes.
Well, yeah. I mean, trouble has a lot of variations to us now, but that is part of what a little bit, because I could go on about how I admire you so
thank
much.
you so much.
But I'd like for you to share who you are, where you came from.
Okay.
We all know you own the local salon, the amazing local salon where people are transformed. But tell us a little bit more about your story, Elena, where you came from, and why you chose to do what you do.
Okay, so my name is Aline McCoy, formerly Aline Portillo.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. We can't forget.
Yes. Sorry, babe. So I am 36 years old. I moved to the Valley. I came to the Valley, to the U.S. when I was 14, 15, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why we came. Like
really?
it was kind of like, okay, we're leaving on Monday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like emergency. Like I never thought we were gonna come. And long story undocumented.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Swam across in the
Swam.
Mayflower.
Wow.
I always joke about that. Yes,
Really?
like
So
it was the whole thing.
And you know what? So not to interrupt you, because I really want to know, but my mom still remembers. Well, my late mother, right, remembers that occurrence vividly, where they swam across, where they waited under the bridge for, you know, the coyotes, or, you know, what they're called. And I remember having conversations with her and how vivid those memories are. And so tell us a little bit about...
Mine are barely coming back.
Really?
So for the longest time, I think, well, it was so funny because when I was in Juarez, that I got my appointment to fix the residency, I started remembering bits and pieces. So I'm like, is it my brain relaxing? You know what I mean? Because when you go into shock, you kind of like, you have selective memory. And I still can't remember where they picked us up in Mexico. I don't know, like, which is weird because where I come from, it's a tiny place. So I don't remember, like, I don't remember waking up that morning. I don't remember getting picked up. I just remember being on the, it's like the tire, the inside of the tire.
Oh, yeah?
The old school tires.
Yeah. And that was like your floaty, or your...
Yeah, like a floaty, yes, type of deal. I just remember being there. I don't remember the Mexican part. I just remember the American part. And the thing that I vividly remember is that I had acrylic nails. I know.
Really?
Yes, I had acrylic nails. And I remember going like this because I guess the river was low. I mean, I have not been at the river.
Right.
So it was kind of low. And then I remember grabbing bushes. I don't know what it was.
Really?
I guess to go up.
And were you like hidden in this, or were you like...
No, I did. Everything was so fast. I didn't hide. It was just like, go, run. Wow. I'm not going to give details.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
no.
But yes.
And
so
this was you, your mother,
Yes.
Just you two.
And the person.
Okay.
Yes.
And so when this experience, okay, you are coming across at this age, you enroll in school?
I was already in school.
Okay.
So I came with not a student visa, with a tourist visa.
Oh.
And we would never go. We were never cross because when you have a tourist visa, I think that you can only stay in the U.S. for 60 days, whatever. But I was going to school.
And you know what? Like, out of all the conversations that we've had, we've never talked about this.
We've never talked about
this detail.
Really?
No, I don't think we've ever talked about this detail out of the gazillion.
And people get very surprised.
Yeah, but that's
because they're like, "What? You swam across?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" But did you really swim across? And I'm like, "Yes, the whole."
And you know, with everything right now, that kind of makes me a little emotional because I feel like the dream.
That's why I don't really talk about things on social media.
Uh-huh.
I know that everybody's story is totally different. Yes. But when I see conflict and things like that, I just observe because I mean, I've experienced that. However, everybody's going to talk about their perception of things. So because of that, I think that's why I'm so passionate about telling people what I see in them, their potential. How much time have we been doing this?
I know.
I'm gonna cry
It's
already.
okay.
I'm gonna cry already.
I know.
No, because I'm like, if I did it,
Yeah.
so can you.
Yeah.
Like it's
absolutely.
like there's
absolutely no excuse.
no excuse.
Yeah, no excuse.
And I'm not saying maybe because sometimes people, it's not that they're making excuses, because sometimes it's just that they're oblivious to their talents or their
potential.
capabilities. Yes.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I wish somebody could have told me, because no one told me.
Yeah. Which is why I chose to do this with a lot of encouragement and support from you.
Yes.
Because I feel that the platform that we all have is not purposeful, right? To your purpose. If you're not sharing what could have helped Elena 5 years ago, 10 years from ago, or Claudia 5 or 10 years ago. Like, I wish there was stuff like this that I could have clicked on and been like, I remember hearing something or somebody, whoever that person was, talk about.
I got over a depression through a podcast.
Oh, are you kidding?
Oh, yes. A long time ago. Probably I was like 20. No. Yeah, I was 28.
You see? And that is something that I feel like we all go through stuff.
Yes.
We all go through. Everybody's going through something.
Oh, yes.
And if we have the capability to be on a platform to share things that we've been through, but that we've come out of, I hope that that's what it gives.
Yes.
Others out there, because we, like you said, because of what we've been through, we see that in somebody. That's why we're like people's biggest cheerleaders, and I think that's why we get along. So well.
Oh yes.
We cheer each other on, but we're that person to our friends, to our family, like to everyone.
What did you say at the beginning? I
said
that gets me in trouble.
Oh, that you are too honest, or no?
Yes.
Or that you're...
So I'm going to pair it with what you're saying, that I'm everybody's biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
It always, well, not always. Sometimes it gets me in trouble because I don't call it being too honest. I call it being passionate. Passionate. So passionate about everything. Like if I'm, let's say, like, oh my God, Claudia, like... I see this in you, or da da da. I mean, of course, I'm not going to be calling you every 5 minutes, but what I'm saying is, like, when I believe something, I believe it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
Because there's people who are not ready for you to tell them those things, and might not be ready, like, ever.
Yeah.
That's what I've been learning in the last, ever since we had lunch that day.
Yeah. And you know what? On that, I don't think that anybody is ever ready until they're open. I believe that we as a society, as a culture, women, or we're tainted from experiences, we're very guarded.
Yes.
But being guarded also makes us being resistant to our blessings, to good constructive criticism,
Yes.
to good support, or and things in general that are meant for us. We block our own blessings because of situations, right?
Yes.
And I think we've had this conversation, in different variations at different settings and of times of where we're at in our life. And I really, we're like, we should have a podcast, like we should do this, but it's
The process of the hair is
Yeah.
not long enough.
sitting in a chair with you really truly is not long enough, even though people are like, it takes forever. It is like the best time, because for me, if you're not intellectually stimulating me, I get bored.
Same.
And that's not to be rude or,
It's not- yeah,
to any,
same.
but if we're
Same.
not having a conversation that I am like, wanting to know more, or I'm stimulated by, period, I just get bored. And I tell that, to all of my friends, I'm like, don't come to me with like gossip or any of that stuff, or unless it's like gossip about a rabbit hole, right? Like that I want to go down.
Oh, unless it's a
We have
conspiracy
gone down.
theory,
Oh my God.
and
Yeah,
we'll
conspiracy theory.
Yes.
But I really am truly excited that we have come up with It Starts With You,
Yes.
because it does truly start with you. I don't know anybody here on earth that has done anything successfully without doing the self work.
The inner work.
Yeah.
Yes.
The inner work.
And we keep looking outside.
Yeah.
Um,
So tell us
what
about
is
that.
it? It's February, right? We're February.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, because I keep saying like 2025, I'm like, dude, it's only been like a month.
Yeah, and it
But,
feels like 12.
Well,
Yeah,
because
how it started.
it's been like tum, 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 tum,
Yeah,
for
I
me.
agree. For
And
me too.
Going back to that, every time that I've encountered, by the way, I never finished saying,
Oh,
no way.
yes, I know.
Okay, so I've been doing hair for 17 years.
Yes, please.
I met Claudia, 3 years ago?
Probably 4, 5, 8. Who knows?
I-
Feels
and
like 20.
yes, and it was like at the salon. Anywho, I own the local salon. If you guys need hair, please go call. Yes. But I'm very passionate about hair. I wanted to be a dentist. That's why I started doing hair, to pay for college. I mean, I couldn't go to.
Right. Remember we talked about
Yes,
this?
because she wanted to be a dentist too.
Oh my God, that's so
I know.
funny.
So then, but I didn't know that I couldn't do it here in the Valley. So then when I figured that out, so I had to stay here because I didn't have papers. Anyway, so then I fell in love with the career later, because the career has never let me go, if it makes sense. I've tried to let it go, but then the career comes back, which takes me to what I was saying about it's February, and I've learned this. Stay with me, full circle.
Full circle here, guys.
I'm the queen of full circle. So I know my why, which is strange, because then I was always like, yeah, it's about your confidence and making you her and the girl that you've always wanted to be. And then I'm like, no. Hair is like the excuse why you sit on my chair. But I always have something to tell the client. Somehow. It happened last night.
It's like a download that you
So
get.
yeah, so there's
agree.
last week somebody tells me like, there's this client, she wants this done. I'm like, I'll do it. I rarely take new clients. I never have time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll take her next week, Wednesday. And Camila's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. 1 p.m. When do I take a new client at 1 p.m.? Anywho, she shows up and then she starts telling me she's divorced, all these things. And then I could tell that she was feeling like down and everything. Long story short, I showed her the hair. She told me like, you don't understand, like I'm depressed and this and postpartum and all of those things. And then I told, because I stayed late, and then she's like, she's like, I know that you don't do this, like, because I'm a new client. She's like, I've heard that you don't, like, you know, kind of like, you only
We've all
stay here.
heard.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't know, but I felt like you needed it today. But I'm like, but because I needed it. You know what I mean? Like, I needed to do this for you
Yeah.
because something was telling me that you needed it. And she hugged me and she cried. So we talked about a lot of other things, and I was like, yeah, I understand. I'm a mom. I mean, I'm married. My husband helps me a lot. So I can only imagine if I feel like I don't have time, how can a single mom
Right.
do it? Because she had all this guilt about being there all this time. And then she like almost started crying. And then I'm like, I totally get it. I'm like, I get it. So then I started talking her kind of like out of it, in a sense, like, you never do this. You need to be happy so you can show up home happy for your son. One night that you show up late, I mean, I get it, because she's like, oh my God, I'm not going to put him to bed. I'm like, yes, but the mommy that he sees tomorrow,
Yeah.
she's going to be super happy because she's going to love the way she looks.
Yeah.
And because, you know, like, if you look good, you feel good, and that reflects on your children.
Absolutely.
So then, yes. So then I feel like in the last 6 weeks, that's what I've been learning, that the hair is the excuse. But and through my clients, I feel like I have so much life experience without having to actually live it. So then I'm like, oh, I know, because my other client, and that's how I like spread the word.
I love that. I love that. And you talked about something, and it was your why.
Yes.
Can I ask you if you know your why, and if you do, when you found your why?
Yes. I think it was last year.
Really?
Or kinda. Or maybe 2 years I kind of like started thinking about it. But more that I'm like, okay, no, this is. Because I don't know if it happened to you when you were, what is it, early 30s, late 20s?
You know?
I feel like we all go through that. You want the purse, you want the car, you want the post.
Now it's the social media temptation that makes it look like we need this now.
Even I mean, if I recall living in Mexico, it was like, oh, they got a new car because he's working, and you know what I mean. So it's like, I feel like when you're younger, you have this sense that you have to show that you're doing something to prove, I guess. And I'm gonna be honest with myself and with everyone. I think that the first year of the salon was kind of like having the perfect post and having the perfect live. Dude, I was even embarrassed of speaking Spanish on social media. I wouldn't speak Spanish on social media.
Wow.
Because the people that I would look up to, they were not Spanish. Mexican.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It was that.
Wow.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, and I think also, right, your story, right? Coming across.
I didn't want to talk about it. It was like,
you
no.
would never even want to say, like, we.
No. Because to me, it was like, no. Like, what are people going to think? So then takes me back to last year. I was like, okay, so this is my why, because there are Alines out there who think like, oh my God, this is all I'm gonna do, or like there's no resources, or there's no possibilities, or that's never gonna be me, or like anything. So I'm like, that is the why. Or the depressed, not necessarily mom, but woman that is like, oh my God, I cannot. I don't know, maybe 40 years old, I cannot do anything with my life. And you're going to walk out of the salon with 5 resources and because that's, I'm like, oh no, we got this. You're going to do this, and let me show you Pinterest, and let me show you this, and let me show you that. So I think that's my why.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And I really feel like that is a true testament of who you are as not just a business owner, right? As a person, as a friend, as a boss, and now like, on the social media, I feel like it's always silly when people are like, oh, you're an influencer, or I, I'm just a person that shares. That's what I like to tell. I mean, just how I describe myself. I'm a person that shares information that works for me, because I know that there's different versions of people out there, and at whatever stage you are in your life, something would possibly resonate with you that you can take with you, and that it will help you. And that's what I think you do, but like daily with different people all the time. But you not only share, like you actually, like I share with my clients. Like I am always like, this is your shot. You got another chance at life. Have faith. Like I have like my things that I always tell people, right?
Yes.
But you have a really great position
That's
because
where I
you
say that I'm passionate.
literally make people people walk out of your place looking like $1,000,000. Like that's
Thank you.
truly what happens. And I feel like, so you not only give them the internal like fuel, there's like an external fuel that comes out of people that leave your chair, specifically you, because you are this artist.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I feel like I love speaking with you. I love knowing things about you, because it not only inspires me, but it also like teaches me that we're all here walking a life that we chose to come to.
Yes.
And it's up to us, to you, to make it the best possible version of what we are given.
I always say, because sometimes people, I mean, I believe that Earth is a school. Like this is a school.
Oh, yes. We've had this.
And it's never, the learning is never going to stop.
Yeah.
Don't think that you're going to be 85 and you're going to be like, oh my God, all I've done is go bingo with my friends and life is good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is going to be good, but you have to make it good. Am I
Right.
making sense?
Absolutely.
So I'm like, life is a vacation.
Yeah.
It's so you better, like, you can, what is it? Like, create whatever type of vacation you want to have. So do you want to have a miserable one? Or do you want to have an adventurous one and making the best of it with what you have? So that's what I say all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that I'm all like, all the time. I cry probably every single day.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I don't see things as in, but why?
Yeah.
I'm like,
victim.
okay.
You don't fall victim to anything. And that's what you encourage people to do. And that's what we want to encourage people to do, is that whatever you're going through right now, or whatever you've been handed, or whatever background you come from, know that today could be the day that you turn it around by it starting with you.
It starts with you.
And your thoughts. And you cannot have everything that you see if you're not doing the work.
If you don't feel worthy. I heard something. I have not listened to music probably in the last 3 weeks.
Really?
Yes.
Are you detoxing from music?
No, I don't want to.
Why?
It's weird. And I haven't watched TV in the last, I don't know. Okay, don't think I'm weird.
Well, I think you probably know, because we always
I know, yes. Okay, I know, but okay.
Say it, because that's what...
Because I find it like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's weird, because then, because my husband would always be like, oh my God, why are you listening to that? Or why are you watching this? Or why are you... I love it. It's pop culture. Or I'm a reality TV junkie. And now I'm like, why? Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, if you do it, I mean, if we all entertain ourselves, yes. But what I'm saying is, like, all I've been listening to, like, I've been trying to learn about, like, more about the frequencies and about quantum leaping and about, like, all of those things. And I just want to talk about it all the time.
Yeah, me too. I agree, because I have also, and I think we've had this conversation where we are wanting to know more about the energy and our subconscious mind, because that's where we start creating. It all starts with your thoughts. It starts, all these like famous people out there, Elon Musk's and this, Bill Gates of the world, they started with a thought. So if you think about what are your thoughts right now and what is happening after those thoughts?
Yes.
You created that. So
Yes.
you, with where you are, it is because you know that you don't want pollution in your mind, in your
Yes.
surroundings by
Yes.
what's in the social media right now or the news or, people for that matter. You are, like, no, up to here, will I hear it?
Yes.
Or and absorb it, right?
Yes. So I showed up yesterday at work and we were talking about typical chisme. Dude, did you see this? Did you see that? And I was like, hey, I'm going to put a stop. I'm like, because
Yeah.
I engage. And I'm like, this is, 2 weeks ago, I started with the box.
A box?
Yeah. So Katrina, she's my assistant and we're working. And then I'm like, Katrina, this is the box. We're putting it in the box. Whatever you want to put, you put it in the box. And I'm throwing that box away.
Conversation.
We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Okay.
Okay. And then she'll come to me. I want to put something in the box.
That is
So then I started the box. But then yesterday, because, what was yesterday? Tuesday, right? So
Wednesday.
I did
Wednesday. Today's Thursday.
Okay, so
yeah.
Wednesday, yes. So Tuesday I didn't work. So it was Monday? Yes, it was Monday because I was cleaning. I was cleaning the house. Usually when I clean, that's when my best ideas come to life. So when I text you on Mondays, it's because I'm cleaning.
Oh.
And I'm like,
when you
guess
share
what?
your stuff
when
with
I share
me,
my
I love
stuff,
it.
it's because I'm
Yeah,
cleaning.
yeah.
Yes, all the time. So I was with the Tilex and Fabuloso and everything. And I was listening to, it wasn't a podcast. Her name is Abraham Hicks.
Oh, yes. I love her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Him. Is it
Him? No, it's a her.
It's a her?
It's a her.
Abraham Hicks?
Abraham Hicks. Yes, it's a her.
Oh.
I Googled her.
Did I always think that was a boy?
Same, but no.
Oh, wow.
It's a girl.
And now you know.
So I was listening to that, and then she's like, do you know why things keep happening in your life? And we can't, because I was there. Why does this always happen to me? What am I supposed to learn? It's the same pattern. And it's been 3 years of the same pattern. And it used to be like once a year, then every 6 months, then every 2 months. And then last year, it was literally every week. And I was like, okay, so I see you, I hear you. What is this?
Like, what am I supposed to learn from this? Is what I always
And
ask
the
myself.
whole point is to stop talking about it.
Ah.
Because remember when I told you that time wasn't like we see it on the thing? It's not like that. It's like this. So you have your past, and then you have your future self. She's already there. You're getting there, right? So then picture yourself. You're walking, and then you turn around to talk to that version that happened. What are you doing?
Looking back.
Besides that, wasting time.
Oh.
You're not acknowledging the one that's in the front. You're ignoring it. So, creator takes it as you don't care because you keep talking to that. So it doesn't matter what I put in front of you, you don't care. And then we're like, but I don't see the signs. I do all the work and I pray and I do this. Well, you're still stuck in the back. So your actions are not aligning with your desires.
Yeah.
So then it's the same thing with friendships. I'm a big believer that we evolve and the people that were in your train get off and then new people come in and there's people that stay there forever and then there's people that come and go, they leave, then they come back later. Anyway, so then it's like if you have a vision, let's say mine, my focus has been my family lately, 24/7. They come before anything. I told you, the only people that matter live under my roof. I mean, everybody matters, but what I'm saying is my immediate. So and I told my husband, you and I are a team, no matter what. It's you and I against the world.
Right.
Watch out. So, and then then it starts like, you know?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, because 2024, I cried. It was a horrible year. So then I was like, okay, then I need to surrender that. I thank it and I say bye.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
But I'm not turning back.
Yeah. Thank you for the lessons.
And then I think that every time that it's repeating, Jeremy's going to be like, oh my God. Because when I told Dr. Viviana, I started going to church, okay?
Okay, so let's not forget to come back to that.
Yes,
please,
okay, because you were part of it.
Yes, let's not forget to come back to that. Okay.
So then I told Greg, I'm like, now I know what it is. And he's like, what? I'm like, that's why it keeps repeating, because I was about to wake up. I'm going to cry.
I was going to cry too.
Yes, I'm like, I was about to wake up. So the enemy knew that I was going to wake up. So he was trying to entertain me from it.
Wow.
So then 2 weeks ago, something super weird happened at work. Extensions on a client got super tangled. My assistant has been washing extensions forever and ever and ever. I started getting pissed. I'm not showing it, of course, but I wanted to kill her, Katrina. You know this. And then I went to the kitchen, and then Saida's like, she's like, I think it was the shampoo. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? No. I'm like, I need to shake it off because this is what he always does. Now he's going to get to Katrina because he knows that I love Katrina. So I'm like, you know what? I'll be right back. And then I go, and Katrina's blow drying the client, and she's like almost crying. And then I'm like, Katrina. And then I hugged her. And I'm like, we're going to shake it off right now.
Yeah.
We're going to shake it off. It happens.
Nip it in the bud.
Whatever.
Good for you.
And then I'm blow drying hair. Look, I've been saying this. God knows my brain. And he knows. And me. So I can't, you know.
Yeah.
So then I jumped in the blow dry, and my mom has this thing that she always tells me. Can I say bad words?
Of course.
Okay.
Bleep.
Well, she says that whenever you want to kick any negative entity or que los mandes a la chingada.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes.
We all know what that means.
Because she says that you need to be ballsy
Strong
and
enough.
strong and
Absolutely.
be like, aquí no. So I'm blow drying hair. Thinking, aquí nadie va a venir y que quién sabe qué. Yes, dude, it was, I know. And it's so weird coming from me because you know how I was. I mean, I wasn't lost, but, you know, I was a little skeptical.
Well, I don't think, and if I may be honest, right, with everyone, we've had conversations about, you just thought, like,
I had a thing with religion. It was a religion thing.
But you also made mention, like, is God going to judge me? Why now? Like, you're coming now to me? Like,
yes, that was my fear. Like, I see, you did all, and now you're coming back.
Now you want, Where,
I felt
that is
like
never
not worthy.
Right.
Like, who am I to ask? And even, because people, Aisha would always tell me, pray about it. And I'll be like, how? Why am I going to be asking him for stuff?
Right.
Like, con qué cara?
Right.
If, like, kind of like when people call you, you're like, dude, you never call me. Why are you calling me to ask me for a favor? So that's why I was embarrassed. And then everybody at work started going to church. And it was.
Oh, wow.
Just like things were happening to me every week. No. So then I'm like, I show up to work, and then Cruz is like, I went to church.
You're like, wait a minute. You too?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Wow. I love it.
And then after that, so then I was doing hair again. Margot, my bestie, shows up. Viviana had already told me to go. But Viviana it was just a one-time thing. So then I'm doing hair, and then I said, oh yeah, Cruz started going to church. And Margot's like, friend, I didn't want to tell you. Listen to this. I didn't want to tell you. Didn't want to tell you, but I also started going to church. And I looked at her. Okay. And then Katrina, yeah, I've been going to church for like a year already, but I didn't know how to tell you. And I'm like, is this an intervention, people?
Oh,
Mind
wow.
you, Aisha, about 2 months prior,
Uh-huh.
she came up to me and she's like, I have something to tell you. And I'm like, what? I don't know. She's like, but something is telling me that God is sending you this message that you need to stop being lukewarm. You either believe or you don't. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
I was like, okay. She's like,
Wow.
I don't know. I just work here. She's like, so
That is
it was Aisha. So then that happened. I'm outside with Alani in the she's jumping in the trampoline, and then she comes and she's like, I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. She's like,
This is your daughter,
Mommy,
by the
my
way.
daughter.
Let's tell
yes,
everybody,
my daughter.
this is
She's
her
like,
daughter.
Mommy, I love Jesus so much. And then I looked at her and I'm like, okay. Like, I see you. Like, you're
I
just.
hear you. I
yeah,
hear you.
it's like, what are you trying to
yeah,
do over
yeah.
here? So, because I'm like, I have never taught Alani not to not believe. You know what I mean? But I was not like praying with her at night. I wasn't.
Right.
So she started slowly asking me, like, Mommy, can you get me a Bible?
Oh,
Yes. And I said, yes, of course. And I gave it to her for Christmas. Well, Santa brought it for Christmas. But yet, I still didn't do it. Am I making like it was like, okay. So then it was Margot, Katrina, Cruz,
Your daughter.
my daughter. And then I had one soldier left. Angie.
Oh.
And then so because I had all these things in common with them that we were both like, no, I come from a religious family, and it was so I like, like I'm spiritual, I'm this, y que Christos, y que that. Yeah, we all have that in common. We're vibing.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, what is going on? We're doing hair again. So I'm blow drying, and I'm just like, friend, I think I need to start going to church. I was like,
Okay.
I'm like, she was the only one left.
I hadn't mentioned it. And mind you, you're taking note, right?
Oh,
Because
yes. I'm doing
we
all of
are,
these things.
Those kind of people that were like, okay, did we heard it here, we heard it here.
Yes.
So you're taking note.
And as this is happening, a lot of bad things are happening. Remember I told all of the things.
right.
Like, but a lot. And it's like thing after thing after thing after thing after
And then
thing.
there's God reminding you.
And then it's like, your people are going to church. And then I'm like, okay, fine. Then I go to YouTube to watch Puff Daddy stuff because I was in that rabbit hole. And then, boom, like one video about, I don't know, like
Is it the
God
one you
sends
sent
you
me?
this, like
Yeah.
videos like that. And I'm like, whoa, what is going on? My Pinterest. I swear,
Yeah.
my Pinterest.
Yeah.
My Pinterest is the vibe, if anybody wants to follow me. It's super vibey. And then it will be like in the same aesthetic, like in God, something, like a quote. And I'm like, are you saying this? Like what?
Yeah.
And then the last thing, so then Angie started going to church with Cruz. So then my husband and I have this thing that at the end of the day, we sit down outside for like 30 minutes and we catch up, right?
That's
And
so
then I'm
good.
like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and Greg is sitting facing me, kind of like this. I'm usually on that side, and Greg is like this. And then I'm like, can you believe that? And he just goes, babe, I've been reading the Bible for And then I'm like, wait, what? I'm like,
Wow.
why is everybody hiding it from me? Like, who am I?
But was it, do you
Because-
think they were not telling you because of what? Fill in the
And no,
blank.
that's what I said. I'm like, okay, am I a bad person? And he's like, because we know how you are.
And what is that?
Like that. Like,
Skeptical.
but why?
Skeptical.
And what made
Okay,
you?
Okay.
And what are you changing? Like, why is this? Why all of a sudden? Because I don't do good with change.
Okay.
It's gonna come full circle, as per usual. So I think that
with
was
us.
that was the
Stay
biggest
with us.
that was the biggest lesson.
Yeah.
Because I'm always in control, and I've always said this.
Yeah.
so it's not a jinx. It's my life lesson, because we always say like, I jinxed it. No, honey, that was your life lesson. And I've always said, oh, like, I've always been in control. You can do it. It's just like your mindset and this and that. And like, if you put your mind to it, like, it's going to happen. And all 2024, I was swimming against the current. Pregnant. And I would think like, oh, it's my hormones. Oh, it's postpartum. Oh, it's this. It's holiday season. After holiday season, I'm going to be fine. Thank you. And then it was that I needed to let go of the control.
Absolutely. You know, I just had this conversation this morning with one of my mentors, my cousin, who I love so much. And I'm like, but I am losing, I am giving, like, I am working on that. I am. And it's like, I was saying, you know, but are you?
Yes, exactly.
You know, because when you relinquish and you're in a sync.
Again, what is relinquish?
Alexa, what is relinquish? No, when you let go.
Okay.
Of wanting to be in control.
Yes.
Of everything. You start to see and hear and listen to the downloads, to the
I've had a lot of
messages,
those lately.
But it's innate for control freaks like you and I, that we want to it's almost like a second nature. Like it's like a gear, right? Like it's like, you know, you hit reverse and then you hit drive, and then, you know, it's like it is. And that to me is the biggest takeaway of where I am at personally is.
Well, you were the one. I didn't go to your church because hasta para eso, I'm terca. I ended up going to Viviana's church because she never told me. Cruz invited me, Angie invited me, Katrina invited me. You told. I asked you the day that everything exploded and that I cried to you.
Yes.
And because I asked you.
By the way, we were meeting for a totally different reason, which this is, again, the takeaway. We were meeting for a completely different reason.
Yes.
And I was like, something in me was like, I need to sit down with Elena. I thought it was about XYZ. We sit down. It was not for that.
It was for me.
For her. It was a conversation about God. It
was
work-related shifts that we both needed to make.
And my shift, I did it right there, and then I told her, hold that thought.
Done. Yeah.
Done.
And it was something that happened that day that I believe.
In an hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where I truly believe that God, because I always give him, right, all the honor and glory, that he puts us where we need to be if we just trust the divine path, right? Because I think I just posted this yesterday about the burnt toast theory. Did y'all read my post?
I haven't been on social media.
Okay, well, that's your excuse. I'm like, and it's about following the flow, right? And it's about, let me read it word for word here, and only because I feel like it'll spark what we're talking about, right? And so every time you burn your toast, miss your flight, get stuck in traffic, you're being delayed for a reason.
Yes.
It's the universe and God's way of redirecting you on a different path. What feels like a minor inconvenience is actually the universe and God's way at work. It's helping you to see that even if you don't get where you want to go, or you're trying to control where you want to go, I just added that, by the way, you'll end up right where you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So trust the process just a little more. Mm-hmm. And that is where I feel that's where I feel we lack knowledge. We lack support, is that we are not okay with that was supposed to happen. and like, oh my God, why did that happen to you? You better go get, did it? No, it's like, instead of like, let's reverse it. Like, okay, that was supposed to happen, and that's in essence what happened that day in that conversation that we had, where we both thought we were going for a different reason. We trusted and we knew we were coming. You got stopped by, I think, a police officer that day or something. You were late and like,
I looked like a mess. I looked a mess.
It was like,
I show up and she's all dolled up and I'm like, oh my
But I think
God.
I just left content.
But
day or
no,
something,
but
so.
I think it was like
Yeah.
it was one of those days for me.
Yeah.
That you're a mess, but you don't even know why you're a mess,
Yeah.
and you're trying to have the best day ever,
Yeah.
and then I just exploded there, but not exploded like just in a good way.
You released.
Yes.
You released. And
Because I felt, so then because of you, because then I'm going to add, so then I said, so what church do you go to, Claudia? Because mind you, I had, so even there, I wanted to have control. Oh, okay, let me rewind. So when all of these things happened through people, I called Aisha and I told her, okay, fine, you're right. Because Aisha would always tell me, pray about it. Anytime that I would, and I'm going through this, she's like, I'm like, what would you do? Pray about it. I'll be like, Aisha, do you have something else to tell me? Like,
anything.
can you just, no, just pray about it. That's all I can say. I can tell you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, and I'm like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, I'm never going to tell you something else because you just need to pray about it. And then I remember one time I was super pissed at something that happened. And we're human and we want to take revenge.
Right.
And then I'm Mexican, so add that.
Oh my God.
So
love it.
I'm telling her like, and what if I do this and what if I do that? And she turns around and she's like, are you going to do it with malice? Or are you going to do it because it's the right thing to do? And then I'm like, and she's at the front desk. And then I'm like, you know what, Aisha? Bye. And I love her. No, don't think like she's,
No,
and
I know
I
what you
always
mean.
tell her, I think like, God was talking to me. She was the first one.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like started talking to me through everybody else. You were the last one.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You were the last one.
Really?
Because I saw you on a Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I went to church on Sunday.
That's right.
Mind you, I went by myself.
Oh, really?
Yes, because
And how is that?
I cried.
Really?
But I
Was
felt
it-
so comfortable because Viviana was on this side. They saved a seat, and I told them, I'm like,
Hey, I'm coming.
no, and I'm like, can I please be in between both of you?
Okay.
Because I don't want to be by myself.
Oh.
And I told Greg, I'm like, I'm going by myself. And Margot told me something. She's like, is it your ego? And I'm like, no, it's not my ego.
What was
I
that?
feel like if I'm asking him for a date to talk, I have to come by myself without anybody,
Or distraction.
like guarding me.
Ah, okay.
Like I need to face it myself.
Okay.
And I need to go to a church where you didn't tell me this and that, and I know that, like, no. I had to do everything, like,
Right.
cero.
And
Sin
now
ninguna
that, and now
influencia.
that you went, and
Yes.
now that you've experienced,
And it was like they were talking to me. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
parking at the, you've been to that church? Yes? Okay, yes. So then I get there and I'm parking. Mind you, a million things happened that weekend. And I was like, you know what? This, I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
And then that day I woke up and I was like, you said you were going to go. You're going to go. And I'm like, well, I'm not even going to get ready. And then you came in my head. You need to look your best. And I was like, fine, I guess. So I'm like, and I told Aisha, because I called Aisha, she's like, I'm so proud of you. Because I felt like it was regular Aline,
Yeah.
and then new Aline.
Evolved,
Yes.
just
So
evolved.
then I'm driving and I'm parking, and I'm like, why are all these people so happy? Like,
Really?
yes, like, ¿qué tanta risita? Like, jijiji, jajaja. And I'm there parking, like, ay. And then I walk in, and then, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna worship. Like, no, whatever. So, like, I'm just,
Yeah,
you
in
know,
your mind,
I'm
yeah, I
in
get
the
it.
front row,
Yeah.
front row. front row.
Oh, wow.
And I'm
Okay.
there like, see. Oh, yeah, you're going to. In my head, and I'm being brutally honest, I'm like, so all these people do all these sins throughout the week, and they just show up on Sunday, and everything gets magically cleared. I see. Como si fuera Clorox. I'm like, okay. So then, dude, the sermon that day was about that. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, fine.
Okay, I surrender. I surrender. I surrender.
Yes. I was like, I guess. And then as that starts happening, I swear I'm not lying. As that starts happening, again, me being me, porque soy terca como una mula. Terca, terca, terca.
I think it's our culture. You know what I mean? I think, on that note, just like,
the control. I'm going to be right.
But we do what we know.
It's a learned behavior.
Yeah, it's just, it's a way of life. It's a way that we've seen. It's a way that we adopt. And that is also the biggest takeaway, is that once you become aware of what you do repeatedly that is not working for you, be open to evolvement or shifting.
So this is from my mom. So if you tell my mom something, the answer is always no. Mm-hmm. The first answer. Mira, mami, no. And I'm like, but you haven't even let me tell you what it is. So I'm always like, no. Like, what? Like, don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's all broken.
Right.
So
it's still broken.
Yes. So then that happened because it was like 45 minutes, an hour or something like that. So then that happens. And then, guys, bear with me. I've been to church twice. Okay?
Wow.
So then they did, I don't know what it's called, the bread and the communion. Because in the Catholic Church, you're not supposed to take it if you haven't done your first communion. And I haven't, because I've been a black sheep since I was little. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one in my family that never did the communion.
Okay.
Only one.
Okay. Because
my dad's family was super extremely Catholic.
Oh, okay.
And my dad was not a very good husband.
Okay.
So to me, I related it with him doing all his things and then going to church.
Right. I got it.
Because he would always do that. Mm-hmm. So then he would come and ask my mom for forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to church and I'm doing this. But a week later, he was already on
the same path.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And then my dad's family was extremely Catholic. And I would be like, dude, so if he doesn't understand it, you are my grandparents. How come you don't tell him? Mm-hmm. So then I created that feeling towards the religion.
The church. Mm-hmm.
And then with my mom's side, they are Jehovah's Witnesses. So two extremes. Mm-hmm. And then when my mom was going through all of that, and if you're seeing this video, I hope you hear it. And no. But it's like all of her brothers, no one helped her.
Wow.
So it's like, dude, your sister was getting a divorce. She has kids. Mm-hmm. You know what my dad did or was doing. And you will still go hang out with my dad? Like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And not ask my mom how she was doing? Mm-hmm. And then we came to the U.S. and...
No help.
Mm-hmm. Like, if I tell you the stories. Anyway, that's for another episode. But
another episode, yes.
Another episode. So then I created resentment towards the religion. Because to me, I'm like, then they're hypocrites. Then I'm going to become that.
And that's a fair way of thinking, honestly.
To me, I was going to become that.
Yeah. Or you didn't want to. Like, you didn't want to go and then be like, well, I sin, so I don't want to be a fake or fraud.
So to me, I'm like, I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a good person. Because I don't have to be,
Right.
So then that's why I would put a lot of resistance.
Right.
And then, so then I took communion, because in the Christian church, you can do it, right? Mm-hmm. I'll learn later. But then I go back to my seat, and then I'm thinking, I see. Y que quién sabe qué. Pues ya, you took the communion, so you're going to be telling myself, like, who do you think you are already? Yeah, you're purified.
Why are you so hard on yourself?
Wait, I'm learning.
Okay,
so you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm the same way. But it takes a friend like you to be like,
Yes.
You know?
So this is kind of like, after going to church, I've been open about it. Because before I wouldn't talk about these things.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because to me, I couldn't show weakness.
Yes. Because it's all we
know.
So
to me, going to church is I don't have control, so I'm weak.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep putting resistance.
And I think we were raised similarly. And I think that's why we relate to a lot of things, because I was raised by an extremely strong mother who also went through a lot before my dad, before she met my dad and got with my dad. And I remember having conversations with her and saying, like, now as a married woman, right, with children, I get it. But when you're younger, you don't. And this is all learned, and it's it's something that you can't help, but that's the place that you come from, right? Mm-hmm. And so that is a lot of why I feel like we're doing this and having these raw conversations that we would not really want
if
to have.
Is talking about this, so can you.
Yeah, exactly. And because it's supposed to be something, not supposed to be, I want this to be something that not only somebody can gather and say, if she can do it, I can do it, but also know wherever you are, you can start now.
That's why that's why it starts with you.
With you.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So then I went, and so then I was saying that to myself, and then the pastor starts saying, your thing is not with the religion. Like, don't, nobody matters here but you and him. Everybody else is flesh. Because I would always be like, well, why are you so pure? You're just like me. That's why I didn't do my communion. Because I told my mom, I was 8 years old, and I told my mom, why am I going to go confess? He's a human like me. I told my mom, he doesn't have a direct line with God and call him and tell him. Like, I can tell God myself. I was 8 years old already questioning this.
Right.
So, so that was my thing. Like, why? So the moment that he said it like that, like, nobody else matters. I mean, they matter, but like, I'm not here for them. I don't care what they're doing.
Wow.
It's me, and that's it. And I was like, okay, fine, yeah, I accept it. Yeah. I was the problem.
That is
so to me, the biggest lesson about this, well, number one is that if he wants to talk to you, he's gonna let you know.
In various ways.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Second is that because of my upbringing and all of the hardships and stuff that I went through, in my mind, if I control things, then the outcome is always going to be perfect. Because I was always trying to achieve perfection. So because of that perfection, I couldn't show vulnerability. Because then how am I going to help you if you see that I'm weak?
And
no.
How is somebody going to want to come to me
and ask me for help if I show weakness? No, I can't lead.
Right.
I can't, and that applied at work as well. I didn't want to show vulnerability. I don't want to show that I'm having a bad day.
Right.
I don't want to show that I don't know, that I have problems at home, or because we all do. Social media, everything to me, it was like, no, those things are at home.
Right.
So then everything happens. I go to church. I start seeing things differently, and I got home. I am still learning, because it's also a learned thing. I'm still learning to pray, because I still feel weird. We need to normalize, because I think this is the biggest thing culturally, that when somebody starts going to church, the non-goers, because I was one of those, I see. You just went one time, y ya, puro Jesus Christ. Tira la Jesus Christ. I was that person.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like when you start doing Ozempic. I've not done Ozempic, but you just want to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I found the solution.
Yeah.
Let me just tell everybody about it.
It feels so good.
I started taking magnesium. Yeah. Now I can sleep. So it's the same thing. So if we do those things with everything else, why is this taboo? You know what I mean? Why do we have to hide our faith. Not everybody does it, but I was that person. Because I would be like, ay, sí, puro Jesus Christ. Nada más ahorita ya puro Jesus Christ. Pero mira, antes andaba ya downtown. You know, I was that person. I was. I sound like a señora, like a bingo señora criticizing
but I think
people.
it's so important though to speak from that perspective, because we are out there. We put ourselves out there, Leonard.
I did it with Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee went Christian, and I was the first one to criticize. I'm like, really, Daddy Yankee?
That's so
really
funny. And that's the thing, right? Is that I'm so glad that you shared this about your faith.
I'm gonna say why, because you told me.
Yes.
And we were sitting there, and you said, Aline, I've gone through so many things.
Yeah.
Your health thing about
Yes.
babies. Anyway, your parents, all of these things. And then you're like, and you know, you said it like this. And you looked at me in my eyes and you said, the only thing that's never, that's been my constant has been God. And I was like,
I know, I want to cry.
yes. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
why you
and
too?
it comes from a genuine appreciation. My tears,
Yes,
right now, comes from a genuine appreciation for having faith, because I went through so much. I mean, aside from the losing my parents, you know, like there's so many other things, right, that I have not posted on social media or shared on social media that will eventually start coming out of the podcast, because I feel that it's important to be honest and raw. But that one thing that's never left me, has never judged me, has never, thank you, has not given up on me.
Yes, that's what you told me.
Is God.
Yes.
And my faith. And I want that. And I didn't even know that was going to be the
I
topic
know.
of today. Again,
I know.
Again, I didn't even know that was going to be the topic of today. But I'm so happy and I'm grateful that you shared that, because it is my constant. It is everyone's constant.
Yes.
You just have to get there. And once you're open and ready and know that the possibilities are grand after that's just the surface to the bigger.
And I told you that day, because I was like, it's because all of the people that I admire, it's weird because I listen to all these podcasts, I take these classes, I have a business coach, I have this, I have that. And the moment that they would start talking about faith, I'll skip that podcast, I'll da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, mijita, then you're not doing all of the things. And I told you that. Like, all of the people that I admire have faith.
Have faith.
And have shared it with me. And I'm just like, sí, está bueno, thank you. And then I move on. So then I went to church and everything. And then going back to my why. So then I'm like, okay, how am I going to, this is me taking a shower. And I'm like, how am I going to tell people that I go to church? Like that. I'm like, how? Because I still like,
judging
ay,
yourself
all of a
for
sudden,
how
mira
you're
esta, y está yendo al church y todo. I'm like, oh my God, how? It's funny, guys. I swear this happened. I opened my YouTube and I listened to a video that it was something about like something about your like daily motivation, whatever. And it goes to God. And then it said, that you think that you have a purpose and that the reason why those things haven't been going on good, it's because your purpose is to share that. So when like that wasn't going to get granted until I accepted that I was going to share that through that, which is my work.
And this now.
But that's what I'm saying. So then I'm like, then it goes to, you sit on my chair, then I'm talking to you. That was a part missing. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Because we would talk about everything. We would talk about hormones, diets,
teeth,
aliens,
microbiome,
I don't know, politics, money, power of attraction,
bunker homes,
bunker building.
I mean, everything.
But I never talked about that.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was a video, and it's a
That's
video que nada que ver.
Yeah.
So then I was like,
Wow.
I'm driving here, and I'm like, what if they ask you, are you going to talk about it? Ay, no, ¿cómo? Que quién sabe? And I started even crying.
Aw.
I know.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
So, yes.
Honestly,
You
thank
did
you.
that day.
Aw. Again, like, I feel like I've said this, I think, I don't know, somewhere down my social media postings, that I truly and honestly know and believe that God has granted me time on earth, all this time on earth, to be just a vessel for his work.
Because whenever we met about brand strategy that we went to Greens and Lemons, okay, you told me that, because when I was asking you, like, what is your why? And then you went on about, like, when a mother has their child and they go to jail, and she's like, you're like, I just want to be that hope, because you told me about what the yellow represented and this and that, that everybody deserves a second chance.
Yes.
So then you're using your job to spread it.
Right.
I wasn't. I was thinking that everything was through me. Me. My why. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But then that why was just like the money and the career and the success and the whatever.
Yeah.
But it didn't have a foundation. That's why it kept breaking.
Wow.
You see?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Aw. And I truly am, like, I don't care how this sounds, because I really stopped caring a long time ago about how things sound and appear and come across. I'm not anywhere near perfect. We know none of us are. But I do know that when you start and live by faith, everything else in life will come at the time that it's supposed to, when it's supposed to. And if it doesn't, it's okay, because what's meant for you is always going to come for you as long as we have faith.
And I've been catching myself like, oh my God, and this happened. And I'm like, okay, no, just relax.
Yes, and have faith.
And
have faith, How, and in that form, whatever comes.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's been, 3 weeks or so?
Yeah.
But
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I love it. Well, we'll have to... we're going to come back and have a lot more talks, because this is just the surface.
We could go 5 hours.
Of what we want to share. And if you guys have anything that you guys want to add, contribute, share, or you think would be beneficial, or if this meant something to you, share that with us, because I feel that is where where it comes in handy, that we know that.
Hey, oh my God, did I just change the entire topic of the thing?
Who cares? I'm super excited. Thank you so much. And just one last thing before I forget, just one last thing. I want to know, after 6-7 years of life that you've had, at this point of where you at, what is 1, 2, 3 things maybe that you cannot live without?
Okay. Make it quick, 'cause I got 4%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Herbalife tea. I don't drink coffee. The Fix.
I'm not sponsored. We're not sponsored. This is not an ad.
This is not an ad, but
Elena brought me this.
They know. Yes,
So
if you know me, you know that I always have this. And I wanted to drink it, but we were talking.
I know. I've never had one.
It's energy. I don't drink coffee though, but this
good.
has caffeine and vitamins and collagen and
all this good stuff. And it's like a Piccadilly. Oh my God, it's good. So thank you. What else?
Okay, everybody laughs at my Lululemon bag because I don't own a makeup bag. However, anyway.
Really?
Okay, so this I found it on Amazon. It's Zika, and it's I'm gonna say it in Spanish.
Is it a cream?
Centella asiatica. Okay. So when I was pregnant, I found it. Dude.
Really?
It's, yes.
So it's like body butter?
Yes, but it's for inflammation. So I didn't get any stretch marks. I have no stretch marks.
Oh my God.
Or anything.
Okay.
And I
love that.
So this is I don't know what it is. Everything is in Japanese, Korean. I don't know.
Tag it.
But
you get it on Amazon?
Yes. It takes forever to get here though, because it actually comes from Korea.
Oh.
Yes.
And we all know about those Korean products.
Even if you see it
oh my God, it's all Korean.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And then I brought more than.
It's okay. Share. I'm
a tongue scraper.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I was gonna bring my
floss.
tongue scraper.
Yes.
That is so
Because
awesome.
people, if you didn't know, now you know.
Yes.
A lot of diseases come through your tongue.
Yeah, through your oral
Oral-
microbiome.
Yes. If you have root canals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's another topic.
And yeah, that's another topic. But another one, gut health.
gut
So
health.
gut
Yes.
and tongue.
Yeah, your gut and your mouth and
Yeah.
what you put inside.
Yes.
Yay. And on your body.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing. I am just I'm all about sharing, and so I always
Yes.
like to know what people cannot live without.
So if you
thank
want
you.
more weird stuff, just make an appointment
Tune in
with
next
me.
time.
You'll be fine.
Thank you guys for
Thank you.
watching, and stay tuned for more
Yes.
of It Starts With You.